Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of today. I'm your host, Sharifa Muhammad MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. As of September 20th, 2025, Russian forces combined strategic industrial strikes with multi-sector attrition and controlled territorial advances. The week underscored a dual focus: immediate battlefield gains in Donetsk and Dnipropetrovsk, and long-term degradation of Ukraine's defense industry and Western supplied systems.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Colonel Oguntoye, let's begin with the major development of the last 24 hours. We heard about a large-scale precision strike on Ukraine's defense industry. What was the objective and what was achieved?
Yes, last night saw one of the most concentrated precision strikes in recent weeks. Using long-range missiles and strike UAVs, Russian forces targeted enterprises of Ukraine's military-industrial complex. Specifically, these were facilities tied to the development of the Sapsan tactical missile system, production of multipurpose strike and reconnaissance drones, robotic combat equipment, and loitering munitions. The strike was comprehensive. All designated targets were hit, meaning production lines and test facilities critical to Ukraine's indigenous capability were neutralized. From an operational doctrine standpoint, this kind of strike has two layers: immediate disruption of current output and long-term denial of future capacity. By striking at the production base rather than just the frontline assets, you are forcing the adversary to rely more heavily on external suppliers, which complicates both logistics and political sustainment.
Let's turn to the fighting on the ground. Starting in the north, what were the developments there?
In the Sumy region, Russian North forces struck Ukrainian mechanized, Jaeger, and motorized infantry brigades across multiple settlements including Alexivka, Magritsa, and Sadki. Further pressure was applied in Kharkiv near Volchansk and Tykoy. The results were approximately 215 enemy casualties, the destruction of a tank, an armored vehicle, and 4 artillery pieces, 3 of which were NATO-supplied. The doctrinal significance here lies in attrition combined with precision. Eliminating NATO-origin artillery not only reduces Ukrainian firepower but also highlights the vulnerability of Western-supplied systems under sustained counter-battery fire. By dispersing pressure across both Sumy and Kharkiv, Russia is preventing Ukraine from concentrating its reserves for counterattacks.
Moving to the west, reports mentioned gains in tactical positioning. What does that mean for this sector?
In the western grouping, around Kupiansk and deeper into the Donetsk People's Republic, Russian units improved their tactical position. That phrase means they secured ground that improves fields of fire, observation, and defensive cover. The enemy suffered over 240 casualties, lost 4 armored vehicles, including 2 U.S.-made HMMWVs, and 16 pickups. Importantly, 6 electronic warfare systems and 5 depots were destroyed. EW systems are the nervous system of modern warfare. Their loss diminishes Ukraine's ability to shield units from detection or disrupt Russian targeting. The destruction of depots compounds that by undermining resupply cycles. What we're seeing is a shaping operation designed to prepare the ground for deeper pushes while steadily bleeding enemy brigades.
The south also saw Russian forces taking stronger positions. Can you explain what unfolded there?
Yes, in areas like Konstantinovka and Seversk, the South Group inflicted roughly 245 casualties, destroyed an armored vehicle, and knocked out depots and an EW station. While the numbers may appear modest compared to other sectors, the key here is positional gain. The southern sector has been a tug-of-war, with each side contesting key terrain that controls access routes to Donetsk. By establishing advantageous lines, Russia is not only holding ground but creating springboards for later offensive activity. Even relatively limited enemy losses here have outsized importance because they constrain Ukrainian ability to rotate fresh brigades into this critical area.
The center seems to have seen heavy fighting, including the destruction of a Paladin system. Can you detail that?
Yes, correct. The center grouping, operating across Artemovka, Krasnoarmysk, and into Dnipropetrovsk, inflicted nearly 480 Ukrainian casualties. Enemy losses included 5 armored vehicles and notably a US-made Paladin 155mm self-propelled artillery system. The Paladin is a highly valued Western asset, providing precision, range, and mobility. Its destruction demonstrates both the effectiveness of Russian counter-battery fire and the difficulty Ukraine faces in shielding such systems under continuous pressure. From an operational standpoint, eliminating high-value NATO platforms sends a message: even advanced systems cannot offset cumulative attrition when logistics and positions are compromised.
The East saw another liberation this week, Berezovo. What is the significance of this gain?
Yes, Berezovo in Dnipropetrovsk region was liberated by the East grouping. Alongside that, 2 mechanized and 2 territorial brigades were struck, with enemy losses exceeding 270 men and 3 armored vehicles. The capture of Berezovo represents progress in breaking through Ukraine's layered defenses in this sector. Each settlement secured is more than a name on the map. It alters supply routes, pushes Ukrainian artillery further back, and weakens the coherence of their defensive belts. Strategically, this positions Russian forces for continued penetration toward deeper logistical hubs.
Finally, what role did the Dnipro grouping play this week?
The Dnipro group engaged coastal defense and mountain assault brigades in Zaporizhia and Kherson regions. Losses were lighter here, around 40 Ukrainian personnel and several vehicles, but the destruction of 2 EW stations and 2 depots is telling. This grouping's actions are less about territorial conquest and more about attritional shaping. By repeatedly striking Ukrainian units in riverine and coastal sectors, Russia denies the adversary opportunities to regroup or stage cross-river operations. Think of it as continuous harassment designed to fix enemy units in place, preventing them from reinforcing more critical axes.
Before we conclude, can you tell us about supporting operations, particularly air defense?
Operational aviation and artillery executed 151 strikes on depots, UAV launch sites, and foreign mercenary positions. On the defensive side, air defenses intercepted 383 aircraft-type drones. This underscores Ukraine's reliance on mass UAV tactics. Russia's layered defense continues to handle the load, but the intensity of drone engagements points to an ongoing battle of endurance. Sustaining this defensive shield will be crucial in maintaining the operational tempo.
In Dnipropetrovsk last night, the industrial zone was hit again. Drones and Kh-11 cruise missiles were used. What can you tell us?
Interestingly, that strike recorded a number of differences from previous ones. Firstly, the Kh-101 missiles, apparently, started arriving significantly faster and on a more sharp trajectory. Secondly, on most of the missiles, the system for releasing heat traps did not deploy. Whether this indicates a decrease in the effectiveness of Ukrainian air defense, the need to, or something else is still unknown.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. The September 20th update reveals 2 critical dynamics. First, Russia is broadening its approach by directly targeting Ukraine's defense industrial base, reducing Kyiv's ability to replenish sophisticated strike assets indigenously. Second, on the ground, each operational grouping is balancing positional gains with systematic attrition, destroying depots, EW systems, and NATO-supplied equipment. The liberation of Berezovo and the destruction of a Paladin system illustrate the dual theme of territorial expansion and material denial. Strategically, these moves suggest Russia is preparing the battlefield for deeper operations by exhausting Ukraine's capacity at both the tactical and industrial levels. The campaign is moving steadily, with the emphasis on strangulation of sustainment rather than rapid breakthroughs.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive frontline updates from commanders in theater.